With electric guitars, the heavens shake through every riff, our souls awake. This is rock and metal faith. The thunder roars, his name is praised. Through light and dark, his love will fade. Forever loud, rock and metal faith.
Welcome to the Rock and Metal Faith Podcast, where it's all about the rock that makes me sing. This is Christian rock and metal. From today to the classics. All right, I am your host, Aaron Hancock, usually joined by my co-host, Chris Promoning, but this is our bonus episode for the month of June. Sometimes Chris will join me on these bonus episodes. Mostly he doesn't. And he's not with us today, as you can see. So, like I said, we're doing a bonus episode for the month of June. You can expect to find out all about the birthdays, album reviews for this month. And we usually do a quick overview of bands. As I scroll Facebook, I find out there's a lot of people just discovering old bands or even discovering new bands. There's always new fans to Christian rock and metal coming on and don't know a lot. So I thought it'd be helpful to do an overview of bands. This month, we're going to focus on the band Bride, who've been around for over 40 years, I believe, are kind of calling it quits. Led by vocalist Dale Thompson. Bride, he says they're done. There wasn't much point in continuing on trying to do shows. They've got a few shows to finish and wrap up. But it's hard making money these days in the Christian rock scene, and they're just kind of moving on to other things. Bride was originally formed in the early 80s in Louisville, Kentucky, led by Dale Thompson, I said, on vocals, and his brother Troy Thompson on guitar. They originally started under the name Matrix and then changed their name to Bride. For those of you wondering where that comes from, it's a reference to the church being the bride of Christ. Their early sound was raw, aggressive. It was really pure heavy metal, often compared to bands like Judas Priest and Accept, but with Christian themes. First album was Show No Mercy in 1986, followed by Live to Die and Silence is Madness in 88, 89. While they're a heavy band, Bride is a band that often likes to change styles. And actually asked him about this directly. That he says after those couple albums, they realized they really weren't going to get much further under that style. Decided to go a little more blues, hard rock, commercial sound. And they come out with Kinetic Faith, Snakes in the Playground, and Scarecrow Messiah. These albums are considered essentially Bride in their prime. These albums are compared to bands like Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith. If you don't know Snakes in the Playground, definitely check out that album. The whole album is great. I would suggest checking out Would You Die For Me, the title track Snakes in the Playground, and Psychedelic Super Jesus, as well off of Kinetic Faith. I would suggest Everybody Knows My Name, Hired Gun's a good one. After that, we kind of get into the 90s, where they get into a bit of an alternative phase, changing trends with the style of the times. They come out with Drop in 1995, Jesus Experience in 97, and Oddities came out around this time too. In the 2000s, they got back to the heavier sound with This Is It, and Skin for Skin, released in 2003, 2006. And their last album has come out just, was it last year? Vipers and Shadows. That was a double album. And Dale describes that more as groove rock. It's alternate. Sorry about that. Alternative, groove, heavy rock. Yeah, it kind of encompasses a little bit of everything throughout their career. On They've also had lineup changes throughout their career. It's always been the two brothers, but they've had different members backing them up on the rhythm section. They started out with Frank Partipillo on bass and Stephen Rowland on drums. When they get to Snakes in the Playground, they've got Scott Hall on bass and Jerry McBroom on drums. When they come out with Vipers and Shadows, they've got Scott Hall on bass and Keith Thompson on drums. Scott had left for a while, returned on the later era with Keith Thompson, and Keith is not related to Dale or Troy. All right, so that's about a brief overview of the band Bride. I'll be moving on now to June birthdays. June 1st, we have Jason Truby, who is the guitar for Living Sacrifice and POD. He was born in 1973. June 2nd, we have Ronnie Conning with the band Signum Regis, born 1983. Signum Regis is a band, one of these European bands. Can't remember exactly which country he's from now. And in June 6th, we had a death anniversary of Dana Key, recognized from the duo DeGarmo and Key, and he died in 2010. We don't have many dates for albums to know which albums have come out. Most of the album actual dates we know is Straper albums. However, we do have a anniversary for a Guardian record, June 8th, Miracle Mile. That was a great record. I didn't write down what year that came out. That would have been, I'm guessing, 88, 89, right in the time I was kind of getting into Christian metal. That was my introduction to Guardian. Great album. I love it. All right, June 9th, we have James Salters, who did the vocals for Brave on Battle Cries, the original vocalist. But June 9th is a death anniversary. He died 2025. June 11th, we have Tay Anderson, who plays bass or played bass with Third Day, born in 1976. And June 12th, Michael Angelo Basho, who was a guitarist and appeared on the Shout record. If you listen to, trying to think, In Your Face, I believe it is. I think that song on that album, there's a bunch of guitars showing off, playing lots of speed, the thrash, well, not thrash, but speed lead guitars. And Michelangelo Basho was one of those guys. June 12th, Jason Andrew Sherlock, who played bass with Mortification from 1990 to 93. His birthday is 1970. June 13th, Glenn Thomas, who did some guitar with X Center, also a little bit of bass with them, and engineered a couple of their records. I don't have a year for him. June 15th, we have the legendary keyboardist John Lowry, who played keyboard with Petra, born in 1950. He was part of Petra's classic lineup in the 80s. I believe he may have left the band for a short period, but is back with them now. And June 18th, we have a striper birthday, Oz Fox, born 1961. We were just talking about Bride. June 19th, we have a death anniversary, Rick Foley, who had done some bass with Bride, died in 2021. On June 19th, though, we have birthdays for Brian Head Welch, 1970. For those of you who may or may not know, Brian Welch was the vocalist for Korn, but has since become a Christian. He's even released a solo record of Christian metal. And June 19th, we have Roger Dale Martin, who played bass for Vengeance and is now with Reign of Glory. Now, Reign of Glory is a great band. Roger was born in 1958. June 22nd, we have Jesse Sprinkle, who had done drums for Demon Hunter from 2000 to 2004, born 1976. And June 23rd, we have the hardcore metal vocalist himself, Ryan Clark of Demon Hunter. He's been with the band since 2000, and he was born 1979. June 26th, back to Vengeance Rising, we have the death anniversary of Roger Martinez. He died in 2025. Roger, as you know, was the vocalist for Vengeance until things kind of fell apart. And then he kind of turned around and became a very outspoken atheist. And unfortunately, he has died. June 28th, Striper anniversary for the album In God We Trust. Comes out 1988. And June 29th, Christian Borneo, who has played drums with Petra since 2013, was born 1981. And the same day, we have screamer, singer, Rob Rock, born 1959. Normally I say, check out this album, check out that song by various artists. We had lots of birthdays to get through, and I'm trying to keep this nice and short. So, Rob Rock, check out the song Holy Hell. And check out music from all these other bands if you can. All right. And that will be it for the month of June and the Rock and Metal Faith podcast. Keep listening. We've got more episodes coming out. God bless and keep on rocking.